Welcome back, Fantasy Moto fans, to the PulpMX Fantasy Show. I'm Donnie from RotoMoto, and in this video, I have 5 riders I want you to look at when making your picks for Denver 2022, tips for the FFL, the weather report, race day schedule, and an early look at what my team could be come Saturday night. Stick around till the end to find out how you could win race use and autographed memorabilia, even if you aren't good at the game. Saturday's race is going to be another super early affair, so make sure you either have a mulligan on your account or you get a nice early team set to save you the headache of a nice big zero for the weekend. This is the penultimate round, which means next to last for those wondering, and the final true West Coast round for the 250 division. With the finale being an East-West showdown as always, that means that any riders you take this weekend in both classes will be locked out to you in Salt Lake, so make sure to plan around that accordingly. Looking at injuries, it is more of the same from last week. It doesn't look like any heavy hitters returned to the field, and no one was taken out in Foxborough. Just be sure to steer clear of any riders with that red cross icon next to their picture until you actually see them ride in qualifying. For this weekend, I have 3 guys to target, 1 to avoid, and a high handicap guy for you gamblers out there. Starting with a little class and working our way up. 250 All-Star, let's look at the guy trying to clinch this weekend, and it's Christian Craig. There may be better All-Stars for this weekend, but with an East-West showdown coming next, it is in your best interest to save those 4 higher handicap guys for next, where they will be worth double points. Craig has been easily the most consistent rider in the class, finishing on the podium every single round this season, and even a third in Denver would be worth 23 points for his 1 handicap. Another 250 guy that I'm looking at this weekend is Ryan Surratt. The Team Solitaire Yamaha rider comes in with an 8 handicap, and in fact, Ryan has finished inside the top 18 in 83% of races he's entered this season, including coming straight through the heat in 4 of 6 traditional rounds, with a season best as high as 10th at Anaheim 3. Moving on to the 450 class All-Star in Denver, I like Malcolm Stewart. Rockstar Husqvarna rider sports a 4 handicap this weekend and needs a top 5 to max it out, something he has done 74% of the time this season, the best mark of all of the All-Star batch coming into Denver. One guy that I want you to avoid this weekend is Brandon Hartraft. The rider from Brick, New Jersey is just a victim of his own consistency this year, and coming into the round with a 1 handicap, there just isn't enough meat on the bone for his fantasy this weekend. Brandon is one of just 6 riders this season to make all 15 main events, and one of 5 without a DNF, but unfortunately, with a season best of only 8th, Brandon has a ceiling of 32 points, and that is not enough upside in this field. The high handicap hero of the round given to a rider with a handicap of 10 or more that I think has a realistic chance to score massive points this weekend if you're the type of person that likes to sweat out a little LCQ for a big payout. This week I'm looking at Devin Harriman in the 250 class. An 11 handicap in Denver, Devin originally started the season as a privateer before joining the AJE Motul Gas team a few weeks ago. At least 5 riders with a double-digit handicap will make the main this weekend, and Harriman has the most main events to his name of that crop, with 4 total mains in 2022, and 3 of those in the top 16 with a best of 13th the last time we were in Anaheim. Moving on to your FFLs, it is a relatively short start straight, but almost an entire lap. Gate pick is going to be big, so I would look at guys that win heat races. Craig still leads the pack with 4 of the 9 this season, including the last 2 true West Coast rounds in Seattle and Anaheim 3. I'm sure he would like to get out front early and lead wire to wire to clinch the title, so he has to be the obvious favorite here in the little class. After 22 main event gate drops, I'm still not sold on anyone taking the 450 FFL for sure this weekend. Eli Tomac leads the pack with 5 of his own, but most of those come with the help of that star racing power on exceptionally long starts, and Denver is not one of those tracks. Pick your poison of any of the 5 guys who already have multiple FFLs this season. While we talk FFL, let's take a look at the track map. Whoever gets the FFL will have to navigate an entire lap here in Denver. Just 1 short whoop section early in the lap and a set of sand rollers before a bull turn and a large double leading up to the finish line. The weather report shows a dry and sunny 66 up a mile high in the Colorado Rockies. Although it is a West Coast round, it's actually the most East Coast schedule of the season. Qualifying and race day live kicks off at 9 a.m. Eastern and a punishing 6 a.m. Pacific. RotoMoto Patreon supporters should expect to see the enhanced cheat sheet around 1 p.m. Eastern before I post the standard cheat sheet to the PulpMX Fantasy Twitter and Instagram pages around 1:30 Eastern, and then the picks lock and the gates drop at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific for a 1 o'clock day race in Denver. Before I show you my early team, I want to talk to you about Maxxis Tire coming on for all 17 rounds so I can deliver these videos for you. You know Maxxis Tire. You know the MX ST tire designed by the king of Supercross and my all-time favorite rider, Jeremy McGrath. It is the newest and most advanced tire in the Maxxis MX lineup, featuring an all-new tread pattern, compound, and composition to provide the stability, predictability, and traction that the upper tiers of motocross demand. The entire SGB Honda team runs Maxxis on their race bikes, including PulpMX show favorites and on-again, off-again rivals Alex Ray and Cade Clayson. Available at your local retailer and also at motosport.com. My Thursday team looks like this. I have Joe Shimoda as my all-star at a 4, veteran Chris Bloss with a 0 handicap, Ryan Surratt coming through with an 8, as well as high handicap hero Devin Harriman with an 11. 450 side, I'm looking at Malcolm Stewart as a 4 handicap all-star, old man Justin Brayton with a 0, his Moto Concepts Honda teammate Mitchell Oldenburg with a 3, and rounding out the squad is 5 handicap Team Tedder KTM Benny Bloss. The prize for the highest score in Denver will be a race-worn jersey from the rider that wins the PulpMX LCQ Privateer Challenge on Friday, but if you're not great at fantasy, that's okay. If you want a chance to win something like this Cade Clayson side panel from his career-best 10th place finish in Detroit this season, consider joining me on Patreon. For just about $1 per week, you are entered to win race shoes and autographed memorabilia, and insiders and above double their entries, as well as an exclusive podcast talking fantasy stats on every rider in the field, as well as the enhanced cheat sheets that come out every single Saturday. Link for that is in the description below. And don't forget to follow PulpMX Fantasy and RotoMoto on both Instagram and Twitter for injury updates as the weekend rolls on, qualifying info and stats and banner throughout the race itself, and those fantasy cheat sheets once qualifying is done and wrapped. Thanks as always for watching the PulpMX Fantasy Show presented by Maxxis Tire. My name is Donnie, and may your chiz this weekend. Remember that 8 is great, and most importantly, have fun. Good luck, y'all.